For the longest da 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 do 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 da da do da do 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 do
Who goes there?
Oh, it's you. Come on in. Welcome to the Scumm Bar.
Welcome to the Scumm Bar Podcast, where you can, the Scumm Bar Podcast, which is about video games, movies, TV shows, pop culture, and everything in between.
Yes.
I am your host, Mattbrush, and with me today is my co-host,
Anth0z.
and today we're going off script. We actually do have a script. That was a lie. That's the first off-script thing, is that it's a lie. But we have a script. It's on a tablet that Anth0z has given me, or us, that we're kind of looking at. We're sharing. It's over here.
Yep.
For the audience at home. And the thing is that we do not have our episode printed out today. Today is the most unhinged day. I'm going to call this the Scumm Bar Podcast Unhinged.
Episode unhinged.
Episode Unhinged.
You.
And
Episode unhinged.
it happens to be episode 10. The most crazy episode of them all.
Episode 10 hinged.
10 hinged. Oh, can you put 10 in unhinged?
Unhinged.
Sure, whatever. I'll let you have it. So I had a crazy work day, and I think I've just been up for a lot of hours, and I feel like I said this earlier, but I think we're at dangerous warnings of rambles. So I'm going to try to keep it concise.
Wait, no, earlier you said ranting.
Ranting, thank you.
Okay, that's what I thought you were going to say, because I thought you meant that, you know when you get to a certain point, you're so tired, and you have like no filter. So the moment you talk, the moment you talk about something that you're really passionately negative about, you just start ranting and you can't stop. I thought that's what you were.
Well, I think that's more what I'm worried is going to happen. I think I'm just going to rant a lot, so I'm going to try to keep it concise and with a point.
I think you should just rant.
Well, we're at dangerous levels of this happening though. Okay. But anyways, and the other reason why is we had due to a scheduling thing.
That was my bad.
No, it could have been mine.
But it wasn't because I'm the one that asked.
Let's leave that up to the audience.
All right.
Due to that, we are recording on a different day too, so everything's just out of whack. I don't even know what the heck is going on.
We're wearing different clothes.
Yeah, I'm wearing your clothes. You're wearing my clothes. It's like Chandler and Joey, you know. I'm wearing everything you own. But yeah, so I
That's so not the opposite.
And friends reference. Now we just gotta get a Minecraft one in there, and then we're good to go.
That'll be there.
So what was I trying to say? Oh, I don't even think we have a news section unless you put in,
Oh.
Yeah, because I didn't, that's going to be very, today's going to be as organic as we've ever seen. Cool. You know when you see that one giant avocado in the store, and then you see the small one, and then you're told the small one's better for you because it's organic? That's our episode today.
The small one.
We're the small organic avocado.
All right. I'm not sure what that says about us.
And all. It's going to be great. All right. Let's move in. You know what would be even funnier is if the pirate joke was improvised, but actually I do have the pirate joke.
Should you just save that for next time when you actually have it?
No, I'm gonna do the one I have here because I built that up a little bit.
Okay.
So let's move into the pirate. Yeah, we're there, right? Yeah. Let's move into the pirate joke. So I guess I have to say the joke.
Yeah.
Anth0z, are you ready to hear a joke? No? Did I ready?
Well, I mean, you've been talking about it for 30 seconds, so that's a good point.
What do pirates use the telephone for? Let me say that again. What do pirates use the telephone for? What do pirates use? Let me rephrase this. What do pirates use telephones for? That's a better way of saying it. What do pirates use telephones for?
Is that even a rephrase? I'm sure that's the same wording you used.
Yeah, it just makes the punchline better. What do pirates use telephones for?
For overseas calling.
Booty calls!
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
One of these days I'm going to get it.
One of these days is not like the other. One of these days is dead. All right, so moving on. The next segment is... Sorry, this is like... okay, yeah, no, that does make sense. Oh, yeah, let's move on to the grog.
Yeah. I feel like we should... Don't even look at the tablet.
Yeah, I think it's what's making it worse. I looked over the tablet and I saw intro message, and I saw intro remarks, but they both look like intro message from this far away.
Oh,
so I was like, did we... What? It's not even written correctly. So moving on ahead. Out of the joke zone, let's move into the grog zone.
Okay.
What ye be drinking?
I believe this is a porter by Phillips, and wait, is it chocolate porter? Isn't it?
Phillips.
It's a longboat chocolate flavored porter by Phillips Brewing Company.
Victoria, British Columbia. Hometown, not actually though. Home island, yeah. Let me just say, it's been a long road. It's been a long road with you, my friend. And here we are recording with episode 10.
Oh wow, hey. Did you just think about that?
Yeah, that's called improvisation, my friend.
Oh wow. Think.
I almost choked.
Well, that's like a chocolate Coke.
It doesn't taste very good when you just do that, the sipping noises, but no, it is a good porter though, actually. You can, the aroma of the chocolat.
Yeah.
The Johnny Depp that you can taste it is great.
I'm really getting into these porters because we had a porter last week.
I know, but I can still taste it.
It was good.
The 3-hour tour.
Yeah, and you know what? So when I went to the liquor store, I wanted to pick that one up because I think we said that one
was limited edition. I searched it up. I tweeted it.
Where can I find this? Find it for me. Yeah, they didn't have it, and I was kind of disappointed. But I figured it was obvious because limited edition. So I went for the next best thing I could find: a local made chocolate porter. And yeah, I like it.
This is I've had this before, but it's been a little while, and man, amazing. Oh, we rated the last one.
Did we rate it?
Yeah, we rated it.
Out of 5.
I think we said 4.5 out of 5. I think is what we said.
Okay.
I think we said 4.5 out of 5 for the 3-hour tour. This one I'm gonna give a 4.25.
Ooh, I was just gonna give it a solid 4.
Oh wow.
Because it's solid, for sure. I feel like it's just missing. Not that it's missing anything, but there's one aspect of
smoothness.
Maybe this is yeah. I think it is a smoothness
because this actually has it's almost thin, and the other one had this thick creaminess.
Yeah. It was so much more full.
You convinced me. I'm knocking it down to a 4. All right.
It's great though. I like it.
Good.
This should just be our drink. I mean, not specifically Phillips, but we should just have porters.
Yeah. Or stouts. Porters and stouts.
Or stouts, sure.
A stout beer.
Yeah. Is there a specific pirate grog beer?
Yeah, grog actually isn't beer. I think we talked about this in the first episode.
In the very first episode, I'm sure.
But grog isn't beer.
But that's 10 episodes away, and I can't remember.
I think typically pirates are seen drinking out of steins. That doesn't really make a difference. They're typically drinking out of barrels. It almost looks like they're drinking really weedy beers though, with the white heads on top. Well, I guess a lot of beers have white heads. This isn't going anywhere. I think wheaty beers is what it seems like they're drinking.
We're in that ramble phase.
Yeah, exactly. But the ramble phase that is based on no facts at all. But it seems like in photos of pirates that they are drinking wheaty beers, and I don't think. At least that's not my pirate. That's hashtag not my pirate.
Okay.
So. I think pirates are drinking porters, and I think that they're drinking stouts.
Hashtag porter pirates.
I like it. Porter pirates.
Porter pirates.
In fact, when was Guinness Factory founded? I think it was in the 1800s. Let's say 1886. Sure, because it's probably right. And it was 110 years after America was founded.
Okay.
And what, 20 years after Canada was founded?
1867.
Yeah, so 19?
Not quite.
No, 21.
1888.
1886 is what I said, so 1886.
1867.
So 11.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I see what you mean.
86. So 21, yeah.
What?
Yeah, you're right.
You were right the first time.
Was I? Okay. What did I say the first time? 19?
Well, you said 20, then 19 was right.
Okay. My brain has not allowed me to go to the place where you do the math yet. I just keep guessing.
Yeah.
And what's dumb is if I took the time to do the math, it would make so much sense. But you know how they say that you have your quick math brain and you have like your actual math brain?
I've never heard that.
Oh, well, it must be true because I'm saying it now in the magical time of facts.
Okay.
But apparently you've got like a side of your brain that does the quick math.
Oh.
That's the one that does like whatever really, really quick stuff that you need to do and you just kind of get it right away. It's 7. And you got it. It's 7.
Whoa.
And sometimes wrong. And then you have like your more logical, it's maybe not sides of the brain, but parts of the brain.
Yeah.
And you have your more logical one. That's when you go when you're doing your long form math. When you actually have to like memorize where a number position is in your head, and then you're like, oh, and then I minus that, and then I move that over. And you're usually drawing with your finger and all that.
Yeah.
It's a different part of your brain. So,
Okay.
anyways, a lot of people that say they're not good at math, they refuse, or there's a large boundary before they get to that other part of their brain to do that math problem.
Oh.
I find that happens to me a lot. So when we just did that moment there, I still have not gone to that part of my brain yet. I still haven't made the actual math connection yet.
I think it's because you've been talking this whole time
Maybe.
about doing the math.
That's the problem. My brain,
That's why you're not doing
my
the
brain is moving at very intense speeds and unfortunately at low depths.
So Johnny Depp's.
Yeah, shallow depths, we should say.
Ooh. Sparrow
Wow,
Depths.
that could be the next pirate movie
Shallow
title.
Depths. That could, yeah.
Moving on to Ye Old News.
Yeah.
Ye Ho News. So I have no news to talk about. I was trying to think about this on the way over here. So what has been happening lately? What is new and happening and striking? Let me bring up something that...
Okay.
No, I don't have anything. I was about to go that I thought, because I saw a photo of Chris Pratt and Ewan McGregor, and people were like, no, Ewan McGregor's the true Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay.
And I was like, did Chris Pratt get announced as maybe playing Obi-Wan Kenobi in something? Like,
Yeah.
So I haven't heard of this, but maybe.
Okay,
So
on a side note, do you also... it sounded like you said... Wait.
Who?
Ewan. Do you say Ewan or
I say Ewan.
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 Oh, okay.
Like as in E-W-A-N.
I know. Yeah, to me, it was kind of like an ew.
I don't like Ewan, but a lot of people say Ewan.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's why I just...
Hold on.
Bless you.
That is not a fun feeling. Hearing the bless you just before the sneeze. Oh man,
Just throws you off.
thank you though.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Did we talk about Johnny Depp?
No, what-
not being in Pirates of the Caribbean last episode?
Oh no, we talked about this in person or like on Facebook. But
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah,
And-
digitally in person on Facebook.
And yeah, so I guess. Do you want to take it? You take it.
Well,
Go for it.
supposedly he won't be in Pirates of the Caribbean. But,
Derriere.
yeah.
No, possibly Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann
Oh, I see what you
are
mean.
going to continue on in the series, but they're removing Jack Sparrow. But also maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe they're getting rid of everybody.
Speculation. Yeah.
What's probably happening is Disney is officially saying, I love how this is our facts.
Yep.
These are our facts today. What's probably going to happen based on no evidence? But anyways, what's probably going to happen is Jack Sparrow is going to be removed. Or sorry, Disney's not going to offer Johnny Depp a contract, and they're just publicly stating this.
Okay.
Where we're remaking Pirates of the Caribbean, fact.
Mhm.
We are not going to give Johnny Depp a contract, fact. That's all we know.
Okay.
But like, maybe they are going to offer a contract to Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann.
Yeah.
the actors.
characters, not the actors.
I can't remember the
Not at
actors'
all.
names. Orlando Bloom and Natalie Portman. No, the other one, Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley, yeah.
Both of them played Queen Amidala, by the way. So,
What?
yeah.
Keira Knightley?
The Viceroy lady was actually Keira Knightley
What? When?
in the very first one, Phantom Menace. I swear to God, and I know it
What?
sounds like one of those like, no, that can't be true. You can search it up. Even go to IMDb. Keira Knightley played the
No.
opposite to Natalie Portman in Phantom Menace. I swear to God.
Why do I not remember this?
Isn't that so weird?
Holy.
I know, and it sounds fake. It's not fake. I promise you.
What the?
Even in my rambling state, it's actually not fake.
Okay.
They lied to you. They do look the same.
It's... Oh, that's interesting.
Anyways,
You're not talking about like that sidekick person that they had disguised as...
I believe so. Yes.
What?
I could be
No.
wrong, but I believe so. All I know is she definitely plays her in the movie. They both. Well, it has to be her. The sidekick that posed as her, and then she was like, "I'm not the real queen," and then she's like, "I am. I'm the real queen."
It's me.
It's me. I'm a pirate. So, anyways. So Disney, I bet you anything, they haven't offered the contract yet to Orlando Bloom, to Bloomy,
To Bloomy.
or to Knightley.
Orlando Bloomingdale's.
But they probably will offer it to them. And then if they say no, they'll just go a different direction. Or if they say yes, then they will bring them back up. But what they're saying is we are not going to publicly offer Johnny Depp a contract. And I think that's a very good move. Because as any pirate fan knows, it's been played out. They did it way too much.
Yeah.
He works way better as a mentor figure or as side character that shows up. But
well, if anything of this podcast holds true, whatever you say goes, and you said Pirates of the Caribbean would be rebooted, and if we're going to reboot it, they would not include Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann. I'm guessing. Because a reboot would not have any continuity.
No, actually, let's use our powers of God here and make our own story. And I did say before, I want them to follow Monkey Island, and I hope they do. But
and then what did I say? Pirates of the Arctic?
Oh yeah, he said Arctic Pirates, which is fine too. Maybe we'll Snowy Pirate. Let's see it. I want to see it happen. Iceberg Pirates, the Titanic returns, which is actually happening. There's actually a Titanic sequel happening, not the movie, but like an actual ship that's going to do the Titanic journey again. Okay, it's called Titanic Returns or something. Is a revenge maybe?
Revenge of the Titanic.
But they, I'm gonna say. Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley are coming back.
Okay.
Because of Bloom. Orlando Red Balloon. So they're coming back, and they're going to play the mentor figures that are going to pass the torch on to two younger figures. Maybe three. And I know we've seen that a lot in movies. I think sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Would one of them be their son? They had a son at the end of the last movie.
I think they did, yeah. I'd rather not. No, I don't want bloodlines. I could care less about bloodlines. I just want characters that we are interested in. And I don't care about ethnicity or whatever the heck the movies are going to throw at us. Just give us good characters. That's all I care about. Somebody that I can look at the screen and laugh at. That's all I want.
Okay.
I think Orlando Bloom was very understated for how good of a performance he had in Pirates. I know that he doesn't do much, and I know that it's a fairly simple role at its core. Yeah. But he does a lot of great things with that role. He's got good facial expressions. He plays it very straight the whole way, and some generally funny lines. And I think that Orlando Bloom was a good cast for that. And same with Keira Knightley. I think she did a good job as well.
Yeah.
Stupid lines that shouldn't be funny, like the corset thing, like I can't believe women would wear this in England or whatever the hell she says. Yeah. It actually played off kind of funny. Like it worked well. Maybe it's because her dad was a good actor as well, but sorry,
Keira Knightley's dad?
No, the character Elizabeth Swann, Governor Swan. He was a good actor as well.
G Swan.
Yeah, that's G Swan rocks the G Swan. But anyways, I would like to see those two return, pass on the torch, and give us some good characters that they can pass that torch to. Maybe star-crossed lovers. That works well. We all like the star-crossed lovers. That could work. Maybe you could reverse the roles. You could have it so that the girl is more the pirate-like figure, and you can have it so the boy is more the. I would like to see like a straight commander or navigator or navy man or something like that, right? Yeah. Maybe he's the one who's got the moral high ground, and she's the one who's got the less of a moral compass, right? Like that would be interesting to me. Sure, just make the characters interesting and pass that torch. I think that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah,
and I don't care about a giant squid monster. I just don't. I want pirates at the end of the day is what I want. So yeah.
On that note, you were mentioning about how you don't want bloodlines. I actually. For me, maybe specifically with Johnny Depp, or with Captain Sparrow. His, when they finally brought his dad, the way that he was dressed to me was kind of like that, like iconic pirate look. He almost looked like Captain Hook to me.
Who's that? Who was it again?
I can't remember who the actor was.
It was that musician.
He was a musician?
Rock star, yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
What?
I can't remember his name now. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Wait, that reminds me. Did you know that Johnny Depp actually, like, he's a musician too, and he has recordings, or he's on the recordings of like a bunch of movie themes and stuff like that. I looked it up really quickly, and I think he played guitar for Chocolat, and it's actually
I believe that. Yeah, I like that movie. I think he does a good job in that movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
And he does play the guitar in that. So.
Yeah, I think
holds up.
Johnny Depp is. I think he's always been one of my favorite actors in terms of versatility. I think the first thing I ever saw him in was Edward Scissorhands, and as a kid, I was thinking like, I didn't think of him as a human, but like the character obviously, because he's kind of just like this manufactured sort of. Right. I don't really remember the movie, but
he has scissors for hands. Yeah. Spoilers.
Like he is human, but then he's.
I don't know. I haven't seen the whole thing.
Oh really?
I've seen bits and pieces on Superstation or TBS.
Okay, well, no spoilers, but. I actually thought like he did a really good job in hindsight when I'm thinking back to it. But when I watched it as a kid, I was so transfixed by this idea of like this person with scissors for hands, and he's just so like he's really into this character for the whole movie. He doesn't digress like whatsoever. And then what else? Obviously like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. What else have we seen Johnny Depp in?
I like him in Sweeney Todd, and I think it's actually relatable to what you were saying, because in Sweeney Todd, he had to play a musical role, he had to sing, and a lot of people were making a big deal about it. They were saying this is the first musical he's like singing in. And it was really noticeable for me because I knew the Sweeney Todd musical previously, and I did it in high school, and I was interested in it.
Yeah.
And then he comes in to do the part, and the music, I was very used to like a musical sounding performance.
Yeah.
And he brought this like rock star sound to it, so I wouldn't say it was bad. It definitely wasn't bad. It was just a different take, and I wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
So it was, these are my friends. But he'd be like, these are my friends. And it'd be like this weird, like, okay, that's different.
And that's him already transitioning into Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, at that moment he actually was. I think the second movie had just come out when Sweeney Todd released, 2004, 2005.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I think it probably was actually around that time. So he probably was very into that character around those times. But he is very diverse. He is. I'm not a big fan of his, but I cannot deny his genius. I think he's very good as an actor.
Yeah. And now he's Grindelwald. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Grindelwald. Yeah, right. Right.
But yeah, so back to what I was saying, like the whole bloodline thing. When they finally introduced his dad, the way that he was depicted, or like whatever outfit he was wearing, I thought it was like red and gold, and he just had that look about him that reminded me of Captain Hook from the cartoon Peter Pan movie.
Oh yeah.
Or no, actually even like the Dustin Hoffman version of Hook.
Yes.
And so when I saw that, I thought, oh, that's so cool. Like, this is what I've always pictured as this iconic pirate, and now they finally brought him in, and it's Jack Sparrow's dad, like the character's dad of all people. Which I thought, it's kind of cliche, but for me, it was just really cool to see, and I wish that I could have seen more about like his dad's history about being a pirate and like what it was like during his
days. Maybe a prequel. You have a young actor playing that, but I would really like to get away from the Sparrow family.
Well, yeah, I guess.
But I could see them maybe if you made it a prequel starring Johnny Depp's dad, not Johnny Depp's dad, but Jack Sparrow's dad.
Johnny Depp's dad.
Making a prequel starring Jack Sparrow's dad, and he's younger, and then really dynamically change the story. So it's like it's intrinsically different than Pirates of the Caribbean and Jack Sparrow that we know. Yeah. And then somehow you can play the Anakin story. You know, here's a boy now who's Jim Sparrow, and I don't know what his name is, Ronald Sparrow, right? And the son of the Sparrow family. You know, that's inherited the millions from the Sparrow journeys that they took into Africa or something. Okay. And now Ronald Sparrow he's a choir boy. He's really he's never seen blood before, and like, he's never been on a ship or something like that, right? And then suddenly goes on this adventure, and we watch this movie, and by the end of it, he's still not at all like a Jack Sparrow like character, right? And maybe you're like, what? How does this boy end up becoming that? Like with what we've seen in that movie, and that's the Anakin treatment. We can then make a whole new trilogy and be like, well, at some point something will dynamically change this character. So you're waiting for it, right? Mm-hmm. And that could be interesting. Okay. I don't necessarily want that, so don't take that voice of God. Take the other one. Okay. but I'm just saying we could maneuver that. We could clay mold it into something. Okay. I have to say though, as far as like people that look like pirates, I can't totally remember.
Currently.
Oh, currently. No, I can't totally remember what Jack Sparrow's father looks like. I remember the actor/musician. I don't remember what his name was. I remember it was a musician though.
Axl Rose. I can't
remember. It's somebody famous. They were always like, oh, he based the character Jack Sparrow off of this character or this person.
What?
And then that's what they were eventually able to like bring him in. Oh. And anyways, I still remember the look. I remember him being really skinny, and I remember you see his chest and stuff like that. And, I remember that a little bit. I remember the way he talked a little bit.
But on the darker side, looks kind of dirty.
Yeah. But the most iconic pirate is Barbossa, for sure. Barbossa is a pirate. He's the definition of pirate.
Peg leg.
He's perfect. Yeah. You're in one. He's perfect as a pirate. He just is.
He's everything got his teeth. Yeah, you can see.
I think he probably looks like how pirates look like.
Yeah.
A pirate I was meant to be, trim the sails and roam the sea. So,
Pirates Life for Me. I actually don't know what song
Pirates Life for Me. Oh, never mind. I was going to tangent on something totally different. Anyways, that was our news segment, which
actually, I can mention one more thing.
Oh, do you actually?
So that our news isn't solely about pirates.
Okay, or Johnny Depp.
Because that was just quite a bit of stuff on him.
Yes, it was.
So they recently... I don't know who's they. What I'm saying.
I don't know. Tell us.
Recently on YouTube, there was a trailer for the story mode of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So it's the next one in line for the Switch that's going to come out.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool.
Subspace Emissary. That was the Wii. The story mode was called Subspace Emissary for the Wii.
Maybe it was. I can't remember.
For Brawl, I think. I don't know what they called it on Wii U, but.
U-Space Emissary. I don't know. Anyway, but anyway, for this one, so the trailer actually. Do you mind if I just say the whole trailer?
Go for it. That's fine.
So, there's a few characters that'll actually they're standing on all the characters are standing on the cliff, and a few of them actually have lines. So they're talking, they're saying things that they don't normally say as their catchphrases. So they have monologue pretty much. Does that make sense? They're speaking words, and what they notice that Master Hand or whatever it's called, like big giant hand.
Yeah.
So there's like. Oh no, you don't see it yet. But the characters all saying like, okay, well we have to destroy them all really quickly or something like that. And I think some of them say, well, we'll each have to take about 20 because it's just like whatever it is that they're seeing.
Sounds like the Avengers.
Tons of them. Yeah, exactly. It's like Infinity War. It's pretty much like that. And then the screen pans over to the sky and you see like thousands of master hands. And they're just like they're kind of flying around. I don't know what. There's like this energy, like a really colorful energy thing that's in the sky, and they're all surrounding it. And then a few seconds later, it pans to one of the master hands, and it starts it kind of like dissolves into like light. And then so all the hands do that. They kind of turn into light, and they start shooting at all the characters on the cliff. Every single one of the characters that are there, and you can see some of them trying to do their. Like whatever moves that they can do to like reflect attacks or just like dodge and all that kind of stuff, but like nobody can get by it, nobody can get out of the way, and everybody just like dissolves. Like the light dissolves every single character, and then all of a sudden
this is dark. I don't feel so good.
It pretty much is Infinity War. And then all of a sudden you hear this like kind of like twinkling sound coming from the sky, and then you see like really far in the distance Kirby's on his star, and he's the only one that's able to like navigate in the sky, get away from the star, from the lights and stuff like that. And Kirby, and he basically gets out of range and he almost lands into this like other dimension where all those characters from Smash Bros. Have been taken and turned. They've been like cloned, and there's like evil clones, and so now Kirby has to go and fight all of them. And I think in order to like release their souls or something like that. So you start off as Kirby going on this adventure, and you can see like the overworld map, and you're going from like level to level to level to level, and fighting whatever characters. And I read more into the article, and they were saying how who's the guy who designed. It's either the guy who designed Smash Bros. Or the guy who designed the Switch, or just whatever, but he's also the creator of Kirby. And so, so which is kind of like...
I don't remember my Japanese people all that well. Who's Toriyama? Is Toriyama the Dragon Ball Z guy?
Maybe.
Okay.
I actually don't remember my characters. Mine.
Okay.
Doesn't my Japanese people either.
Japanese characters. Like Yagami.
So anyway, I really like that because Kirby was always one of my favorites in the first kind of in the first versions of Smash Bros. Specifically, the first one that came out for Nintendo 64, Kirby was my character. He was my go-to. I think in the later ones I tried to branch out because like wanted to be versatile, wanted to be able to like beat other people with different characters. But Kirby was always one of my favorites, and it seemed kind of cool that he was the one that was picked to be this like. I don't know if he's meant to be specifically like the star character that you have to use for the whole thing, but he's at least the one that you start off with, and then maybe you can play the other ones as you release their souls or something.
I'm gonna make a guess that it does the Subspace Emissary thing where you play like 4 or 5 levels as one character, then it moves on. You play as a different character.
Oh,
Did you ever play the Subspace Emissary?
I don't remember playing much of the story modes because I think I was just always into playing multiplayer no matter what. So
yeah. I mean, that is really the charm of Smash Bros. The multiplayer.
Yeah, because you want to Smash Bros. You don't want to Smash Story. Right?
Super true, Bert. I agree.
Cool.
That's interesting. Any new characters announced?
Not as of late, but some new characters that we will be seeing are King Krul.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Gone.
Yep. King Krul.
Yep. Ridley from
Right? I didn't know they got announced.
Yeah.
They always argued that the size would never work for Ridley because Ridley's a lot bigger than the other characters. Did they have to shrink Ridley then?
I think, they scaled it down.
It doesn't work for me. I don't like that.
Yeah. Well, I think they did it based on like fan votes or something like that. Like, I'm not entirely sure, but I know like a lot of people were petitioning.
It just doesn't make sense in my canon, so remove it.
Then you can make your own super time.
I'm gonna do it. That's fine. I'm gonna develop my own Smash Bros. I probably could. You know what? I probably could if I developed the time to it, and it would suck compared to theirs.
Super Mattbrush Bros.
Although I use Game Maker Studio quite a bit, I can really like it. The coding system is pretty dynamic. But they actually just recently announced that you can develop for the Switch now. So if I wanted to, I could buy the extra component to then release things onto the Switch. So I'm gonna make my own Smash Bros. Okay. And it's gonna have all my characters in it, like Rupert Sparrow, and those characters are gonna fight to the death. And it's gonna go on the Switch.
Was Rupert in your head because you showed me that link?
Yes. So on the last week's podcast, I was saying that there was a TV show starring Little White Bunny.
Yeah.
And what's dumb is in my head, the Little White Bunny was frolicking through a field and had a kite. And that was so vivid in my head. And I heard the song. Do 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 do. And for some reason, I knew that song, and I knew this bunny, and I knew that kite. And I typed it all into Google, and I got nothing. Funny enough, bunny, kite, frolicking field, do 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 doesn't work at all in Google. So I then had to go 90s TV shows for like a long time, and then I finally found Rupert, which I heard the theme song to Rupert. I was like, that's not it, and it wasn't it. And then I found another one, which was that theme, and I was like, what is going on? So I sent it to you, and I was like, this is what I was trying to talk about. Gotcha. It was Rupert. Rupert.
I feel like Rupert was the original Arthur. I don't know why. I'm not sure why I'm comparing those, but it just seemed like it to me. Was it not? Maybe not.
Arthur. You mean Franklin or Arthur? I feel like he's more like Franklin than Arthur.
Arthur. Why is
Maybe he is like Arthur. Because Rupert was like family. Well, I guess it was Arthur. Arthur to me is more like something like Recess or something, where it's like the friends you have and the school dynamics.
Oh, okay.
But not necessarily family. Well, for some reason, Rupert to me feels like Franklin, where it's like there's like the Rupert bear and the mother Rupert and the father Rupert bear. I don't really remember very well. I mean, I'm the one who thought he was frolicking in the field with a kite, so I'm probably not the best person to talk, I guess, but I remember that theme.
Yeah.
Remember that theme.
Rupert was actually a really good show from what I remember.
Rupert.
He'd go on all these adventures, I think, right?
Yeah.
Were a lot of them imaginary? No, they were actual things that happened in the story.
I can't even tell you. Okay. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. I don't even remember anything about the show.
A little white bunny and then he had a kite.
Maybe Rupert had a best friend who was a turtle instead of the turtle having a best friend who was a rabbit.
And it was Franklin?
Franklin the turtle.
That's not the theme.
That was Dudley the Dragon.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Dudley.
That's what it was. It was bugging me for 5 seconds.
Okay, let's move on.
That's
Yield news. We got a whole whopping heap of news in there. That was interesting.
Yeah.
We're never doing this again. I think 10 and then we're done. I think we're going to be fired after this. We're going to lose it. Answers of the day from our previous question. What was our previous question?
Wow.
Something about games and how they develop over time and what you would want in a game or something.
Absolutely not.
Go ahead, you tell me.
So the question was, what do you prefer in a game? Whether do you prefer having better story or better gameplay, like mechanics and things like that? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was the question.
So I got no answers to this. But in my defense, we didn't have much time.
Well, I do have an answer.
Thank you.
So I'll just
read the answer, please.
I'm just gonna read it out the whole way through because it's the only one, and yeah, that way it takes up some time.
Story v gameplay.
So there's a little bit of what would you say? There's just like there's reasoning behind this, and that's how he prefaces.
Oh, good. I'm glad there's at least some.
Yeah. So storyline is what draws you in and emotionally attaches you to the world and the characters in them.
That's a definition.
Okay. No, it's not.
That's a definition. That's not a reason.
Well, I think he means to say like storylines in video games happens to be what draws people in. So it's
yes,
like,
that is true.
Okay, fine. Anyway. So continuing on, you feel like you are part of the story if it's compelling enough. I prefer story over gameplay for the most part. I become more involved and there's an attachment to what I'm playing. Example, in Red Dead Redemption 2,
Oh my God.
there's a family complex between 10 to 15 characters. Each time I interact, I become closer and closer, and I see how alive the world is. Every time I do a mission with them, I feel like I'm making an impact in their digital lives. If they die, I feel pain. If they win a bounty or mission, I feel really good. He said it adds so much more to the dynamic of just playing the game. It's more like you are the game and I control how the story unfolds.
Preach 1000%, because I am also playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and I don't want to get into it now because we're going to have a podcast about it, I swear.
Okay.
But I have to say, that was exactly what I was thinking. As soon as he was saying, I like story because, blank, my mind was instantly like, man, I'm really into Red Dead 2 right now, and it's a weird thing where it's taking me back in time, and I feel like I'm back there in the cowboy age. Can't remember what the year is. It's like late 1800s?
Sure.
The turn of the 19th century into the 20th century. And maybe they actually is even the early 20th century. I'm not sure, but regardless, it makes me feel like I wish I was back then. But it's a nice time machine to take me back there, and the story is so compelling, compelling. I was just telling my roommate, I was like, this is how movies can't be. Like, movies cannot tell you a story like this, where it's so drawn out and padded out, where even the most minute things allow you to like explore down a rabbit hole. So. I agree a lot, especially on that game. There's lots of games like that, though. Lots of games with story that heavy that are that really bring you into the game.
And they make you feel immersed.
But I haven't changed my mind at all, though. What I said last week, that it depends on the game, because there are definitely games where the gameplay Smash Bros. We literally just covered it. I mean, like Smash Bros. I could care less about the story. I mean, it could be fun. Don't get me wrong, it could be fun.
Yeah.
But I'm like 90%. I'm throwing the stat out here because it's fun. 90% of the people buying Smash Bros. Are buying it for playing with their friends and just beating up other people.
Yep. Definitely.
So,
speaking of multiplayer games where you just beat up other people, did you ever play the Mutant League series? They were always on Sega Genesis and things like that. So there'd be like Mutant League football, Mutant League hockey. There was probably soccer.
No, I've never even heard of this.
Oh man, I loved playing those games as a kid, and then I totally forgot them. I think because the series just didn't do well. But I saw recently that I think they actually revamped it. So there's Mutant League football like 2017 or something.
This isn't Blood Bowl or whatever. Right?
No,
not that football one where it was like orcs versus like humans or something.
No, I think that's different. The one that I remember, so like Mutant League, they kind of look like zombies. That's what I can picture.
Okay.
So I played the hockey one the most, and what I remember is, I think it's timed. Like after a certain amount of time, spikes will come up on the ice.
Oh wow!
And you can like jam people into it. You can like probably body check somebody into the spike because like you're mutants and you're pretty much the undead. Oh yeah, because you look like you're zombies. You look like you're already dead. You can like probably rip off like limbs and stuff like that. I just remember like it was just a really fun way to play hockey because it was just different from having to go like the usual rules. Like okay, have to do face off, gotta pass it, just gotta shoot and score, and that's it. It just like added that extra dimension because like I don't know, people already liked fighting in hockey games. Like it's just like fun to be able to like pick a fight and just like beat somebody up and then continue playing the game. So this is kind of like the opposite. It's like, hey, you just get to fight all day long, and if you want, you can also play hockey.
I guess that's where you go sports-simulation versus sports-action. Like if you look at racing genres, there's always like racing simulators, and then there's racing action ones, or like not racing action, but like Gran Turismo and Forza are very different than Burnout Paradise or Need for Speed or something, right? Sure. Like Need for Speed is not realistic. So it's not a racing simulator, but it's like racing action, right? Because it's like you're trying to like dodge cars and get your boost and go crazy, right?
Yeah.
While like Gran Turismo is like, this car's dash is exactly how the dash is in real life.
Oh, I see.
This track is exactly how it looks in Italy. And you're like, whoa. So that same logic, but applied to NFL or applied to sport, hockey or something. NFL Blitz also was really good at that. NFL Blitz came out in like 2005, 2004. And that was on like GameCube, PS2 and stuff at the time. Mm-hmm. Oh, so probably a little bit earlier than 2002 probably. And that one, like in NFL Blitz, you would actually like, punch a person. And if you hit them hard enough, you'd see their jaw like crack, like Mortal Kombat style and stuff. Yeah, it was really good. Or like your helmet would hit them or something, right? And then you were like trying to get crazy injuries. So it was more action Twitch based instead of like simulation style.
Wow.
Like we see with Madden today. Yeah, that's when games were fun.
Cool.
Cool. Let's get out of this territory. We're still... Let's let's move on down the line. I love how good our transitions are right now. See, this is why I like to have a structured piece of paper in front of me, because without it, my mind is just like, and I don't know how to move on to the segment. So episode 10 is gonna be a woozy. Woozy wazzle.
Woozy? Not a doozy, it'll be a woozy.
A woozy wazzle.
I also really wish the audience could see, like, you specifically today. Like, you're so much more animated. But, you know,
I don't know if I said it earlier, but I'm overtired.
Yeah. But wait, do you watch Big Bang Theory? I forgot.
It all started with a big bang.
Yeah.
Bang! I did, until, spoilers to anybody, but I don't think this is that far in, that Sheldon started liking that Amy Farrah Fowler chick.
Okay, yeah.
And they started, like, I think they dated. They were starting to date, I think. And I stopped watching at that point. It wasn't because of that. That's just, I know that was the moment when I stopped watching.
Yeah.
So I think it was a Star Trek episode. They all went to, like, the desert, and they went and, like, did this pose.
Oh,
Star Trek
they were probably, they wanted to go to a convention, and it just didn't turn out.
Something like that. I think that was, like, one of the last episodes I watched.
Okay. So you know Stewart, right? A comic book.
Yeah, comic book. Yeah, we talked about this last time, I think. Or not last time, but, like, a few weeks back. And then you mentioned a joke where he said...
Oh, yeah, the tomato.
Yeah, I can't remember the punchline. What was the punchline?
Okay, so they were... I'm going to say this. I'm just going to say the
get it
punchline
funny,
because if I
just
say
do
the whole
punchline.
thing...
Yeah, just do the punchline.
So it'd be a little wrong to say a tomato is a pen. Oh, no. It'd be a little wrong to say a tomato is a vegetable, but it would be more wrong to say a tomato is a suspension bridge.
That is so good. That is such good writing. I love that.
Anyway, so Stewart, specifically his mannerisms, like the way he like moves his neck and head and like his arms and wrists and stuff like that. That's you today.
Oh, good. I'm glad I'm like Stewart.
But like, there's so you're so animated. It's just like I'm very entertained just looking at you.
Oh, good.
just watching you.
I'm glad.
It's
I'm trying
in a good way.
I'm trying to be normal. I honestly think like it's just this annoying thing where I think my brain is just like running miles ahead of me right now. I felt it before I was here too. I was just like, get ready because it's gonna be crazy. Unfortunately, I feel like it's ruining the dynamics of our podcast.
No, it's heightening it.
Okay, good. Let's move on.
You know, that could be the question of the day.
What?
Audience?
Is this ruining the dynamics of the podcast?
Or heightening it.
Yeah, okay, there you go. That's our question of the day. Is this ruining it or heightening it? You only have option 1 or 2.
Yeah, providing that they listen.
Yes, exactly. Please.
Yeah. They have to compare it to previous episodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I topic 1? I'm topic 1.
I guess.
My topic is Pokemon Go.
Great.
Pokemon Go to your movie theaters. And the reason why I want to bring up Pokemon Go is because I wanted to... First, let me tell my story. So this is so selfish of me. This is my topic, and I'm going to tell the story. Okay. So, Pokemon Go. No. Okay. Pokemon Go. So I started Pokemon Go when it first came out. I started playing... Remember when you can make like an account like before it was even out yet? I think you can make an account like... Oh, no, that's what it was. It released somewhere else. I want to say... Released in the States?
Well, people had the APK file that they were just sharing.
That was what it was. Yes, because I had an Android phone, so I just downloaded the APK file, made an account early.
Yeah.
Could I? I don't think... Oh, we couldn't... Yes, we could play. Mm-hmm. You could start it up, but the problem was the AR spots to go to, like the little Poke Centers or like any other spot to go do AR activities, weren't totally built yet. So,
okay.
Or it's not that it wasn't built yet, but the data wasn't coming in correctly yet. So around my house, there's like a park. There's a little spinny thing. What are those called?
Pokestop.
Or the Pokestop, thank you. Sorry, it's been a while. Which I'll get to. So the Pokestop, I would spin the thing, but it would be no title, and there'd be no photo on it, right? Oh. So like the data wasn't there yet. But I would still get the rewards for it. So it was like playing the game, but like it wasn't there yet kind of thing. It wasn't fully ready. But you could do the basic things. You can catch the Pokemon and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember when it actually released, I think I'd been playing for like a month beforehand. I think it had been like quite a bit of time actually before it released.
Okay.
Because you're right, because that APK file. So I think I played it pretty heavily for an average user. I think I started right with a trend, and I kept going. I remember when the whole craziness of everyone playing this game everywhere, right? The videos online. Oh, there's a Squirtle! Like everyone.
Yeah.
But I didn't catch many Pokemon. I was doing the thing where you're sitting on a bus and like, you'd be able to catch them as the bus goes and all that kind of stuff. Cheating the system and all that. And I would say maybe for... let's say 6 months of on-off play before I finally uninstalled the game. So let's say 6 months, and then I came back once more. I re-downloaded it, played it for like a day, and then I uninstalled it. Okay. So that's been my lifespan with the game. I've seen when I think the new generation came in, I don't even know what it's on now, I shouldn't say that, but the second gen came in. When second gen came in, there was legendaries, and I remember around where I lived, there was a lot of people around there finding legendaries, and I'm pretty sure I saw it on legendary, but there was this new system where people were battling the legendary to do something. I had no idea what's going on. I installed it like that night. And now I hear there's all these updates, and it's continuously going. And even when I think the thing is dead, as much as I appreciate Pokemon Go, I love Pokemon Go. I thought it was great that it came out, and it changed the way people played games. It was insane. And I really am excited to see what other companies do with this sort of AR technology. But every time I think it's dead, I still see people playing it, and it's like, it shocks me. I don't know, there's got to be a point when you stop getting shocked, but I still will see a crowd of people, and I'm surprised to see Pokemon Go on most of their phones, and they're all playing this game together, and I'm like, oh my god, it still is there. And I think it's just that it's more visual. There's probably that many people playing lots of games I see on the App Store or something like that, but you just don't see it. But with Pokemon Go, you see it. It's blatantly right there. And then coming to your place when we record, I see these people out there, and the group's still playing it. I'm like, wow. So I know you mentioned on one of the podcasts that you still play it.
Yep.
So I thought I would like to hear your story about Pokemon Go, and I feel like there's going to be some enlightening things that you can tell me about this. This game, this wonderful game, and the new updates and everything that's been out. So let me know.
Well, I've stuck with it since the beginning just because, like, loyal Pokemon fan, like, I couldn't not play it. So, but I would say for a while I was more of a passive player just because I was just, and a lot of
when
other
did you
players
first play?
At the same time the APK file. Actually, no, I didn't get it right away because I didn't want to like cheat. Like, I wanted to wait until it was actually a release.
Oh yeah, I got all the rewards.
So, I can't remember. I might have caved in and just downloaded the APK file because I know that we were going to. I can picture going to a friend's place for some sort of dinner, like a birthday thing, and everybody had already planned to like finish eating dinner and then go out to play. And I didn't want to be the only one that was just like not playing. if every single person had it on their phone and was playing. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter if I wait until it's officially released. So got it, and then the first couple of days was really exciting because then. I didn't know that you could change the AR camera so that it was off. So when you're in the catching screen, that you could just have like, instead of seeing what your phone actually sees, you would just have like a blank, or not a blank, but whatever.
It's like the 3DS battle kind of screen.
Yeah, exactly. And they did that so that it's easier to catch because like it's always in the same specific spot.
Yeah, I appreciated that a lot.
And I think it probably saved batteries. I don't really know.
Yeah.
So anyway, first couple of days was really exciting because then walking on the street, like, whoa, there's a Kingler in the middle of this intersection. It's not really there, but it's there. Anyway.
Actually, you know what? I think my 6 months was actually like a year. It just felt like 6 months. But now that I think about it, you're right. Like, this craze was actually a long time. Just kind of thinking in my head. So I just want to retract my 6 months. I think it was actually more like a year. Because I forgot all about PAX when you and I went to PAX too. So that was like quite a bit after the release.
Yeah.
And I was still playing then. Because I remember you guys were all playing then. And I was just sort of like, oh, you suckers, whatever. But I was making fun of you not because you were playing the game, but because you were playing the game in a different country. And I was like, wow. Anyway, so I continued.
I think they recently had their 2-year anniversary or something like that. Maybe just this past summer. Or September?
Well, then that makes me think it was less than a year, but it doesn't really matter. Regardless, a year or less.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot of bugs were still pretty evident, and then just.
Do you remember any of the original bugs?
Let's see. No, you know what? I can't. It's so hard to picture what the UI even looked like before because I'm so accustomed to seeing what it looks like now. Like I can't picture a difference. Because right now, so you were talking about how people would gather for fighting legendaries. So that wasn't the thing before.
People would.
Yeah, well, so people would go to gyms. I'll kind of backtrack a little bit. But in the beginning, there was a lot of hype, and people would go. They would congregate to an area that had multiple Pokestops, so that they could put lures on them and then attract more Pokemon in a short amount of time. And then people would just stay at like Stanley Park or Metrotown, wherever they can find a tri-lure. So minimum like 3 lures in one spot, right? And they just wouldn't have to move.
So tri-lure was the terminology for it?
Tri-lure, yeah. I mean, it still is. But now you can find like quadrilures and pentalures and all that kind of stuff. I think I saw a picture of somewhere in maybe Paris. I think you could stand in one spot and probably hit like 8 Pokestops. So it's like the ideal situation for if you want to just stay in one spot.
Wow.
But if you want to walk and get like rack up kilometers for your eggs to hatch or get candy for your buddy Pokemon, which I'm not sure if they had when you were playing.
What's the other one you said? Buddy Pokemon? Oh, Buddy Pokemon.
Buddy.
Yes.
So you can have a buddy, and as you walk it, then
That was I do remember when that update came out. I was still playing. So
Okay.
I made Squirtle my buddy.
yeah.
I think he kept him as my buddy like the whole time.
Nice.
Yeah. And the egg thing, I was definitely into the egg thing. I had like the 6 eggs or whatever, and as I walked to work and such like stuff like that, I remember the eggs hatching and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I do remember that. That was in.
Yeah. So that would be one thing that you want to make use of. Like you would set your lure down and maybe like do not a lucky egg, whatever. Oh, like incense so that you attract even more Pokemon like specifically to you. And
Right.
there's all these things that people would do, and then I think it died down for a while because the game wasn't really progressing towards like there wasn't any benefit other than just to like catch.
Them all.
Yeah, you try to catch 150, but the thing was like not all 150 were even released. So like, what were you to do?
Really? I thought all 150 were out.
No, because Mewtwo was 150, and that didn't come out until like.
Oh, okay. So Mewtwo and Mew weren't, but still, there was 149.
Oh no, but even the other legendaries weren't.
Oh, actually, you're right. I never saw the legendaries. Sorry, you are right about that. I don't think. Yeah, I don't even think I. Alright, why don't you go into it? Sorry.
Sure. So, well, that was one of the major updates that I think brought a lot of people back into the game because they introduced raid bosses. So, like a raid is just like, everybody gangs up together and fights the raid boss. And then the raid bosses were always legendary. So it started off with 3 legendaries.
Like Zapdos, Virtues.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I was off the train at that point then. So yeah, I never saw that.
So that was, I think, I don't know, must be a little bit over a year ago, I think. So, so raid bosses came in. People would gather because then that would be the only way to catch the legendaries, and you didn't need to keep just one. Like you can keep catching, you can battle more and then catch more. Like it was endless, right? And then they, I think the next big step was that they introduced exclusive raid bosses. So you have to. What was really funny was watching all these chats, and like I got myself invited to these chat groups so that I could see where people were going to a raid boss, because then you can't fight them on your own. You need to have like a minimum amount of people.
Yeah.
So if you knew other people were going to go, then you would make time to go with them, and then that way you had a higher chance of being able to beat the Pokemon so that you catch the Pokemon.
Right.
I think from then on, people probably started creating like a lot more groups, like raid groups. It's really developed. There's a Discord chat for Vancouver, and there are.
Well, I believe it. It seems organized.
It's very organized, and it's awesome. Like there will be separate channels for different parts of Vancouver, so then you can just like mute all the other ones if you're not going to those areas. But anyway, So watching people chat about and try to figure out what the algorithms were was kind of funny, because like people had all these theories like, oh, how do you get an exclusive raid invite and all that kind of stuff, and people were just tossing out like whatever they thought was the answer, the solution.
Right.
So the exclusive raid was if you battled at a specific gym in a certain area, and like enough people battled there and like won there, then it would like pretty much rack up enough points that it would unlock the exclusive raid.
So what were the exclusive raids?
That would be Mewtwo.
Oh,
so that would
wow.
be the only way to get Mewtwo was to like pretty much battle at the right raids enough times. Well, I think you only had to do it once within like a certain rotation.
Were these right raids like spread out evenly throughout the world for everyone to be able to have a chance?
Yeah, but I think they were always situated at parks specifically, because Niantic's thing with Pokemon Go was to get you out and about, moving around.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be just like sitting at home. You're supposed to go out and
But
meet
someone in a
people.
town that's like 70,000 or less people, they can still go to their park and have a chance of getting this raid invite?
Yeah.
If enough of them congregated and...
Yeah, I think so. I think because I think what they did with gyms was when you left your Pokemon in there to like get your coins for like your daily coins or whatever. I remember that some gyms, if you had your Pokemon knocked out sooner, because it's just a high turnover gym, you would get as many you get as many coins as if you were to leave a Pokemon longer in this other gym that like was never really touched. So they probably just tried to cater to whatever's going on in that area, I think. Anyway, so I think that was the beginning of their spike back to where they are, and I think they're still kind of they have some good momentum right now, because after those X-raid invites, they like every couple months or every month actually they would rotate what the new legendary boss would be. So they've gone through like the first three generations now. So they've released like all the legendaries. We're into the 4th generation now, and then they've also in the meantime they were introducing like a specific Pokemon that you could find as a shiny version.
Oh no way! They added shinies.
Yeah, and they're doing it in waves, which is why I think they're keeping the momentum, because in the game, like the console games for Game Boy and stuff like that, shinies were technically always there. You didn't have to get updates for the game.
Shinies was the reason I put like those racked amount of hours into the Pokemon games.
You kind of have to, right? And so that's a similarity that what I think works for Pokemon Go, and similar to all the other. Like flagship Pokemon games.
I just want to brag and flex for a second. I have a shiny Blastoise and a shiny Arcanine, because those are my 2 favorite.
Oh, sweet.
So I have both of those, but it's because of Pokemon X and Y. You can do, it's not a glitch, but you can do the I can't remember what the egg thing's called, where you can go to like the daycare and you can like trade.
Oh, like the breeder.
Yeah, but the method was called something, the Matsuda method or something like that. I think it actually is called the Matsuda method, and it was based off of like the guy who came up with this or something. I don't really remember. Anyways, and you would go back and forth. So I did that a lot. So I think it took 200 and something eggs for the Arcanine. I remember that being really quick.
Yeah.
And it was 700 for the Blastoise. So yeah.
Oh man.
A lot of times. Actually, when we were back in school, while we were in school, I remember being in class in the back. During some of the boring lectures, and I would just go back and forth on the D-pad. You just had to go left and then right and left and right. I remember just doing that constantly for weeks.
So I was in the hatching thing, but not for shinies, but for perfect IV Pokemon.
Yes, so I never got into the IV hunting kind of stuff, but
yeah. So that was a thing that was speculated in the beginning for Pokemon Go. Like nobody really knew if it was a thing until they introduced. Each of the team, like there's Mystic, Instinct, and Valor, and each one has a representative.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So each one has a representative that you can pretty much ask to appraise their Pokemon, and they'll give you like words for the stats, but you can like find like software online or whatever, so you can figure out what
your Pokemon is a little. It was like your Pokemon is a little heavy or something, and like something like that. Where like it weighed this much, and it's at peak performance. I don't know. You may not like it, but this is your Pokemon at peak performance.
Your Pokemon could use a little massage there.
Sorry, just real quick though. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did they not add in baby types? Or fairy types?
They did, yeah, exactly.
And they did that, but it was across multiple generations.
Yeah, so
I remember that making me very angry, and I don't even know if I was playing or not, but I remember I was angry at that because I thought it was a dumb thing to do.
I thought it was kind of weird too, like the way that they implemented each new, I don't know, like cool thing about the game. It was. To me, it just didn't really make sense. Like, why are they doing it this way? I think they're just doing it because they had no choice.
Gen 1, then babies, then Gen 2, I think?
Exactly, yeah.
So maybe, was kind of like, were the legendaries even out, though? Because I don't remember the legend. Okay, yeah, see, I don't remember the legendaries, but I remember the baby thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was actually my dropping off point, because I remember I was pretty mad about it. I just thought it was a dumb move. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I feel like they needed that to entice people to stick around, because there weren't any cool updates that were happening. Like, people were still waiting for... trading with other people and like any kind of bonus with interacting with people rather than just like playing the solo game,
right?
And whatever, like waiting for better PvP, like battling kind of stuff. That's not a thing yet, but but you can give people items, you can trade with people.
So you can trade Pokemon now.
Yeah, you can trade Pokemon now.
So there's shinies in the game.
Shinies.
There's IVs.
Yep.
Or EVs.
And there are EVs. There are shiny EVs.
Ooh. Yeah. You can trade Pokemon. There's shinies. There's IVs.
Yeah.
You can go to gyms. It's pretty much translating those Game Boy games now. It's got the hunting stuff from doing that. What it's missing is the adventure aspect, the gym badges, and like going up to like getting to the Elite Four and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, lots of room for potential growth. Lots of it.
Yeah.
Except what, they're at Generation 4 now?
Yeah.
And there's 6 generations?
Or
5?
There's probably at least 6 now. Yeah.
The Hawaiian one was the last one, I think.
Yeah, Alolan. Yeah.
Alolan?
Alolan.
Alolan. Yeah. Alolan.
So they released the Alolan
is that in
series like over the past summer?
That's in the game now?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
But that so is that a new generation, or is that just like a different type? Because I remember like they would show like Rattata. But
in your Pokédex, it would be in that same slot. So
okay, yeah. So it's like it's more like an alternate version.
Yeah.
It was like Alolan.
So
Right.
Raichu is like number 26. So if you go see Raichu in your Pokedex, you look at number 26, and you can scroll between the versions. You can see the regular Raichu and the Alolan Raichu, and it's listed under 26.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
Ooh. I don't know if I have a favorite Pokemon, but I had a dream. My one and only Pokemon dream was that I was in a mall and I caught a Sandshrew. So I vowed that if Pokemon were ever real, Sandshrew would be my starter Pokemon.
Oh, he's a cool little buddy. I used to love Sandshrew. I had Pokemon Blue as well, so for me, Sandshrew was like the man.
Oh, right, because I didn't invite him seconds. Yeah, Snake. Yeah.
Ooh, it's a snake. Have you caught Shiny?
Yeah, I got a few now.
Oh. A few?
Shiny. I got a shiny Pinsir the other day. That was kind of cool.
What? A few?
Yeah.
What's the rate on how to catch a shiny? What are the chances?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably like 1 in 1,000 something.
Yeah, but if you have a few, that's crazy.
But
then again, you're catching a lot of
But that's exactly. So that's my one kind of thing that I don't like about Pokemon Go.
You're kind of just using them and abusing them.
Well,
grinding them into these little candies.
You set them off to get like slaughtered. Right?
Ground up into little candies.
Yeah. But just okay, what I liked about the original Pokemon series games was that obviously it's like the story, and you get a chance to really choose like, okay, what Pokemon do I want? What do I need to be my team? What do I need to utilize to get through the story? Because like they can only learn certain moves and blah blah blah, like all that kind of stuff, right? Like you really go through a journey, and you're working, you're doing the grind, like you're working on leveling up your Pokemon. But with this one, like, you don't do any of that. It's just like mass collection, and it's really just a collection game. You could go the collection route in the Game Boy series, but if you did, like, that's fine. That's probably not the masses' ideal of what they're going to do with the game. They're probably going to play through to beat it and get to the end. But with this one, there's really no end. It's just kind of like going and going and going and going. What's the next release? What's the next release? What's the next release? Right. That's just how I see the game right now, which is, like, I can see that they can only keep doing that for as long as there are new things to be taken from the new series, from the new Pokemon generation games.
Right.
And if not, then they're kind of screwed. And if I feel like they're releasing a little bit too fast right now, and they are catching up with the games. So once they catch up, like, then what?
It's funny you say that, because when I was playing, I remember the biggest complaint was that they were releasing too slow. But I disagreed with that. I thought the first generation, I wanted it to... I mean, this is my own thing. My own bias is that I only like the first generation. I don't really care about the other ones. Mm-hmm. That being said, every time there's a new Pokemon game that gets released, like actual Pokemon ones, it's not Niantic, it's Game Freak?
Game Freak.
Yeah. Every time they release a new one, I guarantee I will watch the trailer at least and judge myself if I'm going to buy it. Last one I bought was X and Y. But that one was very good. I really liked it.
And that was supposed to like be the revamp for the next generation of games, right?
Yeah, and it felt like the first. It felt like Red and Blue to me. Like, it was a pretty good translation. It wasn't amazing, but it was a pretty good translation of those on the 3DS. And I will at least look at a Game Freak adaptation or a new one that they're making. So props to them for making a game series that lasts that long. But Niantic, I thought they were going to do too many updates too quickly, and that's kind of what it felt like, especially with the baby one. Instantly, I was like, you ruined it. Like, for me, at least, it felt like you ruined it, it's gone. Yeah. Because I like the first gen, because I know I can name every single one, and I know it's my own bias, because that's the only ones I watched on the show. I only watched, like, the first season. Is it 2 seasons, I guess, for the first gen? Or is it 1 season? It's one really long season. So that's all I watch of the show, and so that's all I really care about for Pokemon. Right. So I don't really care about legendary dogs. I can't even name you the legendary dogs. I don't even know what they are, and I can't name you the starters to Gen 2 either. Like Gen 2, I'm already lost. Oh, okay. I know Hoothoot's in it because in the game you see Hoothoot like right away. Yeah. So I know that. But that's about it. So yeah, I thought they released too quickly. That was my biggest issue as well, which is funny you're saying that, because I remember at the time people saying they were releasing too slowly.
People still complain about like not having things available. Like the people that complain right now, I see they just want to have things handed to them, like they don't want to have to work for it. Right. Which I feel like, well, what? Then why are you playing a game? Like, of course, you have to do something to get something. You can't just like turn on a game and you get.
It is definitely a different style game, though, for sure. It's not the same as a Game Freak game, but I wish it was. And I think that it's interesting, since it's a different style, then there's room for adaptation for them to do something unique. Like we said with the Elite Four. Mm-hmm. Is it the Elite Four? Is that what it's called?
In the first season or first version, Elite Four.
Okay, yeah. So Elite Four, and then and gym leaders or whatever they're called. yeah, obviously, like those things wouldn't really translate very well, but there's room now for adaptation. There's room for, let's say there's a real Elite Four for every country or something, or maybe not country, but something like that, or regions.
Yeah.
And that was a real Elite Four of actual people, and like you actually had to fight them. But in order to do so, you had to go to a certain spot, or I'm just making this up, I don't know, a certain spot where then you were now eligible to fight that person on their terms or something, right? And that'd be very interesting, especially if those Elite Four people actually had to choose a genre of Pokemon, or what's it called, type?
Oh yeah, if
they actually had to choose like a type of Pokemon they were basing their stats on, that'd be great, because they'd be like, oh, this is the moment, this would be awesome. Also, rivals. It'd be really cool if you could say, this person is my friend, this person is my rival.
Yeah,
you know,
I hate this guy.
or just like my competitive friend, right? My competitive rival.
Yeah.
So then, therefore, you could fight your rival all the way up to the end, maybe, and then maybe try to beat them at 2v4. I don't know.
Two things about this. First of all, it's funny that like we've been talking about this because it actually relates to my topic that we're going to talk about.
Good, because we're going to have to, because we're running out of time. So.
Okay, that's fine. The other thing is that I actually see that this would also work out with like the Game Boy series of Pokemon games, because like you're already able to carry your Game Boy around everywhere, and you have your own, and it's got like dedicated internet, so you could just connect with somebody else that you're next to. Say they ended up doing some sort of tournament where whoever attends, like the winner of the whole tournament gets dubbed like the Pokemon Master. And so
I love that you say Pokemon, by the way. I've said this to you before in real life, but I have to say it on the podcast. You actually say Pokemon, like they say it in the show. And I just say Pokemon. and clearly there's one right one and one wrong one. You're in the right, I'm in the wrong, but every time I hear it, it's like the announcer saying, Ash has his Pokemon. It's so good. I love it. Anyway, sorry.
I think even in the cartoon series, they would say like Pokemon. Like Pokemon.
Some characters, maybe, but the dumb ones.
And I don't think it really matters. In the end, it's like the Japanese version is the really like the correct way to say it, right?
With their hiragana and their katakana.
Yeah, it actually bugs me when people say Pokemons, like they pluralize it.
Yeah,
like it's already
it's plural.
Anyway, so I digress. What was I saying?
You're saying it
okay, so for Game Boys. Thank you.
Yep.
So,
do you want to say your topic and segue, or do you want to just keep it separate right now?
The topic we'll do that after.
Okay, yeah, fine. That's fine. I don't know what you're talking about. So.
Yeah, so the like say the winner gets dubbed the Pokemon Master, and wherever they go, like their account is pretty much registered as the Pokemon Master. But if they go around like battling other people in like just like a casual setting, they can be challenged by people. And
they win the title.
It could be for the title, or it could not be for the title. Right. But the fact is, like, you can still go up to somebody in person and battle them. Like, you can battle the champion.
How it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think it's even like that in the show. Like, Ash could battle a gym leader outside of the gym.
Yeah.
And it's not an official battle.
Yeah, unless they declare it.
Unless they declare it, right? Yeah. I think that actually happens to one of the gym leaders.
Yeah, but I just think like they could do that for Pokemon Go, but they could also do that for the Game Boy series. Like the technology is there for it. So
I do believe that the Switch, they're coming up with another one, Pokemon Eevee.
Let's go Eevee. Let's go Pikachu.
So that's obviously not a real Game Freak game. No. I mean, we have to be honest, it's not. No. They're marketing it as it is, but it's not. But it is more an adaptation. It's more a blending of the Pokemon Go experience with the handheld experience that we have with the Game Freak games. I really think they're just testing the waters here to see how well what you're talking about could happen.
Maybe.
And maybe if this game, if they get enough players coming in and putting their Pokeparks or whatever it is and throwing their Pokemon Go Pokemon into their Pokeparks.
Yeah.
What do you do in that game? I don't know. You run around. I don't know. But anyways, as long as if people do it and they enjoy it and it all works, they can have their database of data of all the Pokemon and house it all in one database. And then they go, okay, now we can actually make our Grandmaster game. And maybe they're making the game that you're talking about, which is funny because this has been what people have been talking about for years. I remember when I remember when Nintendo Wii was called Nintendo Revolution back in like 2004, 2005. Its first working title.
Yeah.
And people saw the controllers for the first time, the Wiimote and the Nunchuck.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh my god, this is going to radically change Pokemon, is what everyone said. They were like, oh, I couldn't imagine like grabbing the thing and throwing a real Pokeball.
Yeah.
And everyone said that. And then they didn't really, like, they never changed the Game Freak games to put them onto console. They kept them as handheld experiences, probably for good reason, in my opinion. But that never really happened where people were in that experience of really being the trainer. It was still just a game on a system. And what you're talking about is getting more to the whole blending of you are the trainer. The games have always been a little bit meta. Yeah. Even from the very first game, it's always been a little bit meta where you are the trainer. Well, they're going to blend that more, I think, over time. So I think you're already onto something. So.
Okay.
I'm going to skip, by the way, our Wheel of Scum.
Sure.
As episode 10, I decree that we are skipping Wheel of Scum because it's Ranty Day. And Ranty Day says, we don't have time, we gotta go. So we're moving on to your topic because we don't have much time left. So we're going to go ahead and just burn out this topic.
Cool.
I'm going to stamp the butt in the ground.
Cool.
And say thank you for your experience of Pokemon Go. I wanted to know more about Pokemon Go. And thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I feel informed. I'm going to have more questions for you in the future.
I feel like I rambled quite a bit just because...
No, that was good. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to talk. So, let's move on. What is your talk?
Okay, so it does have to do with reboots. So I just
Reboot.
Well, that's technically part of the topic too. So just rebooting, I guess anything. I was really thinking about TV shows and movies, but it also could be games now that we've talked about that.
Okay.
So I want to know what your thoughts are on reboots, specifically because I think nowadays we're seeing a lot more reboots of
We
shows
sure are.
movies, right? And
Right.
let's see. And then I do see a lot of people. Okay, when a new reboot is announced, everybody gets so excited, like, oh, I can't wait for this. Like, I hope they do it justice, or I hope they do it well, or whatever. So they're already painting this picture like they expect it to be like the original, but better.
Right.
But then maybe you'll see something that's
Nostalgia, really.
it's for the nostalgia, but people see it, or when they actually release it, it's gone like a completely different direction, and then fans get all like sad and pissed off, like, oh, they ruined it and stuff. Sure. Well,
I mean, Last Jedi is almost the case of what people expected from Force Awakens? Is that what it's called? Force Awakens? Yeah. I think Last Jedi is what people were worried about with Force Awakens.
Oh, okay.
And some people, even when Force Awakens came out, I think some people were like, it's so bad. I think some people had the reaction of Last Jedi. It wasn't until Last Jedi that everyone went, oh my god, we got so lucky with Force Awakens. I think that's more the reaction. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
That was a tangent. Go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah, I just want to know what your thoughts are about reboots. Like, should they go the direction where it's still more like the original, or should they have the freedom to just like go whatever they want? Like,
so you're not asking me my opinion on reboots.
well, it could be a little bit both.
Okay. Let me first say that I think reboots are hacky. I don't like them.
Okay.
I think they're uncreative, and I think it's all about money. It really is. I think it's just about people having a nostalgia effect. You're putting an IP on the screen,
Sure.
a name. Ghostbusters is coming back.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get the money. Ghostbusters. Okay. We're remaking the whole first movie. Oh, why? Well, we just are. Okay, sure, whatever. And, you're just trying to pull people in there just to watch Ghostbusters. But that being said, I don't mind the idea of bringing an IP back and doing something different with it. We already talked about Pirates of the Caribbean, so enough said. I don't need to talk about that more. But I just find remakes hacked, and I think hacky is what I'm going to say. I think they're hacky, and they're hacky-sacked. They're hack-sacked. And I would much rather see original stories. That's why I actually do like Christopher Nolan quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of like Inception. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's good. It's unique. It's different. And what's that other one? Interstellar. Again, I came out of the theater like that was weird, but at the same time, at least it wasn't like. The Garfield movie, Garfield rides again. Like, it's like, Jesus. I just get so annoyed by seeing the same movies. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to do Hulk again. Like, I'm sure it's going to happen. We're going to do the Hulk again. Yep. And I'm guilty of it, too, where I'm like, oh, that was bad. I'd like to see that done better again.
Right.
I'm guilty of that, too, because it's that feeling of wanting that IP to be yours. So let me move out of the whole, I don't like reboots in general, which is true. I'd rather... original titles is something totally unique and new, or even just adapting something that hasn't been adapted yet. Like there's plenty of books that need adaptations that have not been adapted yet. So you could just screw the money you're guaranteed to make and get into that uncharted waters of will this make us a bunch of money, and if it does, it's gonna be a smash success. That's what I'd rather us have. Anyways, moving out of that dialogue, let's move on to the conversation of if you have to do a reboot. So if you have to do a reboot, you were asking, should it be more like the original movie, or should it be more its own thing? That's tough. Because so Ghostbusters is a great example, because this is the one I go back to a lot on reboots. So what?
Sorry, there's
the face you gave me was like you were shocked by what I was saying, but it's because for the audience at home, his eyes were following in a weird loop around my face, but it's because he was following a fly that was like 2 feet.
Well, I thought it was a fly. That's why I watched it, because I needed to catch it, but it was actually just a little fluff.
Oh, okay, fluff. I thought Force Awakens was actually really good. I came out of the theater really happy with that movie. I thought it was great. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, that movie was a passing of the torch, where it was like Han Solo and Leia, I guess, and the Luke that's sort of there, and passing on the torch to the new characters, the Poe and
Poe, Finn and Rey.
Finn and Rey, thank you. And those characters, they're clearly replacing them. And unconventionally, a little bit different. They're not the exact same, but they hold some of the characteristics to make us at least identify with them and like them for what they are.
Yeah.
And the characters were written well. Again, I could care less about diversity, but the characters are just written well. I think that they were funny, naturally funny, and the script was good. So you got me there. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters is coming out. And your mind instantly thinks of Force Awakens. And you're like, okay, so you're going to have the original Ghostbusters pass on the torch. And then everyone said, well, unfortunately, what's-his-name is dead now. We forgot his name earlier, too, and I can't remember what his name is.
Not Ed Harris.
No, not Ed Harris. But something blah, blah. I played Egon.
Yeah.
I can't remember right now. But anyways, he had passed away. So a lot of people are like, well, you can't do that. He just passed away or something or whatever. And who cares? In the movie, if you're gonna do it, then in the movie, have Bill Murray, have Dan Aykroyd, have what's the guy's name? The black guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh, I'm sorry, guy. I can't remember your name.
Yeah, he's really cool actually, but I can't remember his name right now. Regardless, you can have them still pass on that. They could even say a line. We lost our friend, and once we lost him, we're done. We're hanging up our cloaks. Here you go. We're gonna pass this on to you. You girls seem funny. You seem a lot like us. We can see us in you or something, right? And again, I don't care if it's girls either. You can make the whole cast girls, sure, whatever. That was new. But if you're gonna do that, pass on the torch.
Yeah.
But what was really weird is suddenly you found out that they were it was a full remake. It was rebooting the characters.
Oh, a different universe, right? Like the other ones didn't exist. Is that what it was?
Yeah, this is it was the idea of Ghostbusters never existed.
Yeah.
This is like a reboot, redoing everything that they could do. Not the exact same scenes, but very similar styles of scenes where they come up with the same ideas and things, right? Except they're girls. Okay, so that was their hook. It was the exact same Ghostbusters, except they're girls. So, okay, that's weird, but I'll watch it. But full disclosure, I've never seen this movie. Okay. And I know I shouldn't be preaching to a movie I've never seen. I've watched a lot of people on YouTube ranting about the movie. I've seen plenty of scenes. I watched all the trailers before it came out, but I've never actually seen the movie. But I can tell you, I don't like this movie. Okay. And I've never seen it, but I don't like this movie.
Yeah.
But you can tell already that the humor is entirely different. It is not the same humor from Ghostbusters. Mm-hmm. Again, sure, that's fine. You can do your own thing. But stop trying to remake something that's already been done and then totally just be like, but it's different. And the worst thing of all, too, is bringing in the original cast into this now new universe and just making them randoms in the movie. Just to randomly appear as nobodies.
Well, they are in it?
Yeah, they were in it as cameo appearances. If not Dan Aykroyd and the other guy that we can't remember the name of, Bill Murray is definitely in it as a taxi cab driver for a cameo scene.
Interesting.
But it's come on.
They did that with Johnny Depp and something else in Miami Vice, didn't they?
Oh, no, that was 42 Jump Street.
Oh, sorry.
And that was hilarious.
Did you say 42 Jump Street? Is it 22 Jump Street?
You're right. You're right. It is 22 Jump Street. Yeah.
Future.
Yeah. It's actually 21 Jump Street. It's 22 is the sequel. Yeah.
Great.
That's what happens with numbers. But so 21 Jump Street is actually, that's a good segue actually, because there you go. So 21 Jump Street is a remake of a TV show. Or was it a movie? Maybe it was a movie.
I think it was a TV.
I think it was a TV show. Yeah, I think it was a TV show.
I just realized you just multiplied it by 2. You went from 21 to 42. It doubled. The reboot was a double.
42.
Movie. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
That's fine. So, anyways, they remade that movie, and so what they did. So this is why there's no argument here. This is literally a rant. So what they did is the same as Ghostbusters. They said, what's the core key concepts of the movie? What is the heart of the film?
Yeah.
And let's try to recreate that. And they did that. Mm-hmm. That was the what are those guys' names? I can't remember the names right now.
Miami and Vice.
No, the directors. The directors made Clone High. They made Lego Movie, and they made a bunch of stuff. They're really funny. They made Cloud of the Chance Meatballs, one of my favorite animated films ever.
Cool.
Those guys are, I can't remember the names right now, but they are very, very funny. Will
Turner.
If you watch Last Man on Earth, the guy's name is their two names.
Ryan Gosling.
No. Anyways, doesn't matter. Regardless, so 21 Jump Street is a remake of the TV show, but it keeps the core values. Keeps the core values of the show. maybe it doesn't recreate every scene. I'm sure it's very different from the show. And again, I haven't seen the show, but it keeps the core values of that show. And then at the end, like you said, they have a joke cameo of the original characters. Exact same as Ghostbusters. But the funny thing is the way they did it was with the heart of the show to keep it going. But in Ghostbusters, it's not Ghostbusters. The humor is entirely different. It was all slapstick, gross out humor. Well, if you watch the original Ghostbusters, it's actually much more a coming-of-age film where characters are trying to learn how to make a business. And the humor is dark humor, especially Bill Murray, when he's making fun of everything. Or Dan Aykroyd's pan humor, where he's just sort of... they got the equipment that they haven't even tested yet in the elevator. He's got a cigarette in his mouth. They haven't even tested the equipment. So have we tested it? And Egon just, no. It's just like then the doors, like, just so perfect. Like, not slapstick, just, brilliant. Love it. Anyway, sorry. I don't need to talk much more about it, but reboots in general, they're scary. I don't like them. Should it be more like the original? Should it be more a new territory? I like both. Both can be done well. Yeah. We talked about before, Blade Runner was really well done. It's not necessarily a reboot, it's more of a sequel, but in the same sense, it's rebooting very similar stories to the first one. And it's very different. That's what I like. Yeah. I like originality. So at the end of the day, though, just a good script that knows what it's doing and sticks to the topic, sticks to a nice structure. Yeah.
No, I agree. I would love to see more movies that were just like new, original, creative ideas. But at the same time, I'm one of those. I'm guilty of being that fan who wants to see something remade, like to see a current version of it and see it done well. But then it's like I get torn because like, do I want it to be like the original or do I want it to be like something that makes sense with now? Is there a blend that can work for both? Like I really don't know because I don't think I've seen.
Well, Halloween got remade and like I got excited right away. I was like, oh yes, and then I wanted Friday the 13th to come back and I wanted Nightmare on Elm Street to come back. I'm like, yes, let's do it. Let's just remake them all. Yeah. But is that the right attitude, right? I don't know.
So it's hard for me to say that for sure they must be doing it because they just want money, like it's a money grab. Because I see
it is.
But I say like any opportunity for a movie is kind of like a money grab. I can see why. Yes. If there's something already, if there's something already established, yes, you could probably justify in saying that there's a higher chance that they could just automatically make money because it's already got a following. But
the film industry stopped becoming about the art a long time ago.
Commercial film industry, anyway.
Sure. Well, yeah, you're right. The indie film industry, I'm sure, is all about the art. I'm sure it is. That's probably why I don't like their film. No, it's a joke, but it's just that their films are long and I don't get it. But the commercial ones, though, yes, they all are about money. All of them are about money and how much money they can make. The Meg came out. That movie sucked, and it made so much money that there will be a sequel to The Meg.
Yeah. Is that just because there were so many videos of people creating, like, what if the Megalodon fought, like, Godzilla?
Probably.
I don't know, something like that. But
probably.
So one of the reasons why this sparked up in my head was because I recently saw a bit of footage of the Reboot TV show. So did you watch the original Reboot?
I did. I used to like it.
That was my favorite, probably one of my favorite animated shows growing
Canadian.
up. Yeah, that's right. Was it Mainframe Studios?
We don't have much to be proud of, but we got that! Reboot and the Canada Arm. Reboot and the Canada Arm. Those are our two things.
The Canada Arm?
Yeah, the Canada Arm. Canada Arm. Yeah, on the U.S. International... No, on the Space International Station. Yeah.
Okay, I was
What's it called? International Space Station? Yeah, it's an ISS. Yeah, so the Canada Arm. Okay. That's us. We did
like the claw.
Exactly. Yeah. We also gave the world Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling. So, best of both worlds.
Yeah, good Ryans.
Well, one's good, one's bad. I'll leave you to be the judge.
Sure. So anyway, I don't know if you've seen the newest reboot, but I know.
I didn't even know it got reboot.
Yeah. Rebooted. ReBoot.
Do you think they did that to save lettering? Just because Twitter's, very concise with their words. They're like, if we're going to make a reboot, might as well. We only have to use the word once now.
But anyway, when I first heard that it was coming out, and I'm sure other people felt the same way too. Like, wow, they're gonna do reboot. Like, this is gonna be great. We're gonna see like new age CGI, whatever cartoon, whatever.
I wish it looked like the old one actually.
Yeah, but now it's live action mixed with CGI. So I think people go into the computer and become the Guardians or something. So
I guess that's not terrible.
I'd
have to see it.
Yeah, you have to see it. I understand it being the direction for now because it kind of like Reboot at the time was drawing upon like what is like a technology trend now, which
Yeah, they were good too.
Yeah.
They were smart with it.
I actually think it was a little bit ahead of their time. But
Oh, really?
really,
I thought they were behind their time.
oh, I think they were on time.
I think they were 24 hours time.
They were not late. Anyway, so this one, yeah, the current reboot, I guess it draws upon maybe current technologies now, because it almost seems like it's like immersive
Big
VR.
data, social media,
But either way,
government control.
I think I would have been happier if they did a CGI version, even if it sucked. I think I would have been happier just to look at it.
Yeah, oh man, they missed an opportunity to make it look like the old school version.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest nostalgia effect of that show was the old school graphics of it.
Yeah, and even if they didn't go with like all the same characters, like pretty much like the same, going with like the same kind of storyline or same aesthetics, I think that all could have helped.
Name some of the characters. I remember they all had cool names.
Yeah, there was Bob, there was Dog.
Bob. I forgot. He had cool names. Yeah, like Bob. Bob.
And there was Mike the TV.
No, but the bad guys were like Gigabyte.
Well, yeah, exactly. So that was cool. Like there was Megabyte, and when he fused with hexadecimal, they became Gigabyte.
Right.
It was so cool.
That's ingenious.
And then
Hexadecimal.
later on, there was a virus named Damon.
Oh, like the virus protection software?
No. It was actually like there was this new virus that came up, and she was like infecting everybody, and I think her name was Damon. Wasn't
What is that a reference to?
Damon? Isn't that like security admin?
Yeah, it's the virus protection tools.
I thought you meant like in the show. It was like,
But that's weird because that's a brand, isn't that? Damon Tools?
but it's probably based off of an actual aspect of
Maybe
computer.
they meant demon, but they said it wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it was supposed to be Damon, like D-E with an accent, like Pokemon, like Daemon.
There should have been a character called C Drive, another one called Start. No, Control Alt Delete. That's my favorite character.
Ooh, yeah.
Control Alt Delete. Alt F4. Best character. Control C and Control V. They were funny.
Yeah. They went hand in hand.
See, that would have been great, actually. I would love a show where all the you know what, Dragon Ball Z, you need a new race, new planet, and everyone is just tech names.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
that's my topic.
Wow, that was a fantastic topic. Anth0z out of left field. Fantastic. Wow, great. Well, I'm sorry we went a little long in the tooth. Just a little trivia for you.
Yeah.
The reason they said long in the tooth, or the reason that became a phrase, was actually due to horses. As they got older, their gums receded, so they said long in the tooth because it made it look like they had longer teeth. Just so you know, fun fact of the day. And that's not even a segment, so let's move on. Where can the audience find you, Anth0z?
If you really want to find me,
If you really want to find Anth0z now, you can find him
at Twitter. That's incorrect. It's at Anth0z1 on Twitter. At ANTH0Z1.
One, just one. All right, and if you want to find me, you can find me at mattbrushgaming at twitter.com. That's not true at all. At mattbrushgaming at Twitter. I do that every time. Also on YouTube, I am at mattbrushgaming, and I will also post the Scumm Bar Podcast there in video format. Audio to video, this cool thing called transitions, all done through Adobe Premiere Pro, and it's pretty cool. And then I upload it to YouTube, so you can watch it there, friendos. And if you want to see more, if you want to contact us, you can contact us at the scumbarpodcast@gmail.com. That is where we reside in the email format. If you want to watch our podcast, you can watch our you can listen to our podcast in many places. We're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on Stitcher, we're on Twitcher, we are on Podbean, we are on
iTunes.
I said iTunes. Don't interrupt me. We're on Facepalm, we're on Podbrain, Podcast, Castbox, Boxcast.
3 P's in a pod?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Honestly, just search us up. You'll find us. We are everywhere. The Scumm Bar Podcast # at twitter.com.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate reviews, comments, 5-star reviews, and everything in between.
No.
But not really. We want 5 stars. So, please, thank you so much for listening, and please leave us a review.
Review us.
Anth0z, can you please sing us a song?
Can you name one?
Yes. Your song is Staying Alive by the Bee Gees.
It's
Oh.
And we made it to episode 10.
Yeah. You should have sang a song that had like 10.
How about this?
I would walk 1,000 miles.
And I'd record 10,000 podcasts, and I'd record 10,000 more, just to be the duo that record 10,000 podcasts and 10,000 more. Yabba-da-ba-ba, 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 yabba-da-ba. Alibaba, Alibaba, Thank you for listening to 10 episodes. Hopefully it was 10 more.
Yep. Sorry for annoying you.
You? You too?